Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you start your day with a glass of water? Most of us do, and we believe it's one of the healthiest habits we can have. But what if I told you that the way you drink your water in the morning could either boost your health or silently harm it, especially once you're past the age of 50? We often hear that drinking water right after waking up is essential, and that's true. But rarely do we pay attention to how we drink it. For those of us in our golden years, the smallest changes in our daily habits can have the greatest impact on our well-being. Consider this: your body, after hours of rest, is like a car engine that has been switched off all night. When you suddenly flood it with icy cold water, it's like pouring cold fuel into an engine that hasn't warmed up yet. The system reacts with shock. Your stomach muscles tighten, your blood vessels constrict, and your heart is forced to work harder. What seemed like a healthy habit could actually become a hidden burden. When you wake up in the morning, your body is like a calm river that has rested through the night. The waters are still, the current is quiet, and everything within is waiting for a gentle beginning. In this state of calm, the way you introduce water into your system becomes more than a simple act of drinking. It becomes the first message you send to your heart, your stomach, and your mind about how the day will unfold. Many people, especially those past the age of 50, believe that more is always better. They reach for a large glass of cold water and swallow it down in seconds, thinking they are giving their body exactly what it needs. But the truth is, the body does not respond well to sudden floods. Imagine standing beside a young tree in a dry garden. If you dump a whole bucket of water on its roots, much of that water will not sink in. It will run off, leaving the soil to wet on the surface and still dry underneath. The tree will not drink deeply, and instead of nourishing, you may even cause harm. Your body in the morning is much like that young tree. It needs patience, gentleness, and time to absorb what you give it. When you drink water too quickly, the heart is suddenly asked to do more work. Blood volume rises swiftly, the stomach fills abruptly, and the kidneys receive a sudden load. For a younger body, this shock may go unnoticed. But for someone over 50, where blood vessels have already lost some of their flexibility, and the heart prefers rhythm over sudden change, this shock can lead to dizziness, discomfort, or even long-term strain. There is a saying, the body whispers before it screams. In our youth, we may ignore the whispers because they seem so small. But as the years pass, those whispers can grow louder. A flutter in the chest, a sudden fatigue, a lightheaded moment after drinking water too fast. These are not random inconveniences. They are signals. The body is asking us to slow down, to approach even the simplest habits with awareness. I recall a woman I once met who told me she always prided herself on her morning routine. At 65, she believed her strong habit of drinking 2 large glasses of water the moment she opened her eyes was keeping her healthy. Yet she often complained of bloating and feeling heavy before breakfast. When she was encouraged to change her approach, taking small, mindful sips instead of large gulps, she was amazed by the difference. Within a few weeks, her mornings, it felt lighter, her digestion improved, and her energy became steadier. She realized it was not the amount of water she drank, but the way she welcomed it into her body that made the change. Now, let us look at another common mistake: the temperature of the water. Many reach for cold water in the morning, believing it will wake them up quickly. But think of your stomach as a delicate fire that has burned gently through the night. If you suddenly pour cold water on that flame, what happens? The fire dims, the warmth fades, and digestion slows. This is what cold water can do to your body first thing in the morning. Your metabolism, already slower with age, reacts to the shock of cold by tightening blood vessels, reducing circulation, and delaying the waking process of your organs. Instead of feeling refreshed, you may feel sluggish, tired, or even a bit uncomfortable. Warm or room temperature water, however, acts like a soft sunrise. It awakens your system gently, encouraging blood flow, aiding the stomach to prepare for digestion, and easing the kidneys into their daily work. There's a beautiful story from ancient times about a wise elder who would always begin his day with a cup of warm water. His students asked him why he never chose cold water like many others. He smiled and said, "When the sun rises, it does not rush. It warms the earth slowly, gently, until the flowers open on their own. If nature takes its time to awaken, why should I rush my body with cold shock?" This gentle wisdom reminds us that our body, too, deserves a slow and respectful awakening. It is important to understand that the body after 50 has different needs. The heart is not as resilient as it once was. The kidneys have carried many years of work, and digestion no longer tolerates sudden disruptions. Drinking water correctly is not just about hydration. It is about supporting the systems that are already working with great effort to keep balance. The method is simple, yet powerful. When you wake, sit comfortably. Take a glass of room temperature or slightly warm water. Hold it with both hands, as if offering respect to your body. Drink in small sips, allowing each one to pause in your mouth before swallowing. Feel the water travel down gently, awakening each part of you. Breathe slowly as you drink, and let the experience become a quiet ritual instead of a rushed task. When you make this change, you will notice how different your mornings feel. The heaviness in your stomach after fast drinking will fade. The slight morning dizziness will lessen. The energy you feel will be steadier, not sudden and fading. These are not coincidences. They are your body's way of thanking you for listening. Remember, life after 50 is not about how much we do, but how mindfully we do it. A rushed habit, even one as innocent as drinking water, can bring more harm than good. But when approached with awareness, the same habit can become a source of healing, balance, and strength, as the old saying goes. Small hinges swing big doors. The way you drink your water each morning may seem like a small hinge, but it can open the door to a day filled with vitality, or one weighed down by fatigue. The choice is always in your hands, and it begins with the first glass of water. When we speak of health after the age of 50, we must recognize that the body becomes more like a finely tuned instrument than a powerful machine. Each note, each movement, requires careful attention. It is not only what we consume, but the timing and manner in which we consume it that creates harmony. Water, as simple as it seems, is one of the most powerful influences on that harmony. The moment you rise in the morning, your body is in a state of delicate transition. Blood pressure, which naturally drops during sleep, begins to rise again to prepare you for the day. The kidneys, having worked quietly through the night, are ready to release the waste filtered during your rest. The digestive system, still soft from hours of inactivity, awaits a signal to awaken. The way you introduce water into this transition, that has a profound impact on each of these systems. If you rush and drink a large quantity of water in one go, you may overwhelm your body's natural rhythm. For some, this can lead to an unusual drop or rise in blood pressure, leaving them lightheaded or tired. For others, it may strain the kidneys, which are not meant to handle sudden floods after hours of gentle activity. The heart, too, receives the message that the body is suddenly full, and it beats harder to maintain balance. This is why so many older adults report that they feel slightly unsteady or uncomfortable after drinking too much, too quickly. First thing in the morning. Think of your body as a garden with many small channels. If water flows into those channels slowly, each root and each flower receives the nourishment it needs. But if a sudden torrent comes, the soil erodes, the roots are disturbed, and the balance is lost. Hydration is not just about volume, it is about flow. Sipping water in the morning allows the body to distribute hydration evenly, letting the blood, kidneys, and digestive organs adjust at their natural pace. I remember meeting a retired teacher who shared with me that he often felt strange palpitations shortly after drinking water in the morning. He worried that something was wrong with his heart. After listening to his routine, it became clear he was drinking nearly half a liter of cold water in one breath as soon as he woke. When he was guided to slow down, sip gently, and use warm water instead, he noticed that the palpitations disappeared. His heart was not weak. It was simply reacting to a sudden demand. This story reminds us that our bodies are not against us. They are constantly trying to communicate. If only we listened. The kidneys, often overlooked, deserve special attention. They are the silent guardians of balance, filtering the blood, removing waste, and regulating fluids. With age, their efficiency decreases. Flooding them with a sudden surge of water first thing in the morning is like handing a tired worker a heavy load the moment he wakes up. The wiser way is to ease them into the task, offering steady support rather than sudden strain. Warm, moderate sips are the gift they need. Just as important as how you drink water is the temperature and timing. Cold water shocks the digestive tract and slows the awakening of the stomach. But warm water gently signals the digestive organs, preparing them for the work ahead. It encourages circulation, supports the kidneys in releasing toxins, and gently stimulates the bowels to move. This is why many elders in traditional practices begin their mornings with warm water. It is a way of aligning with the body's natural wisdom. There is an old proverb, a gentle beginning carries you through the day. The same applies to water. When you drink mindfully in the morning, you do not just hydrate. You create the foundation for stable energy, circulation, and balanced digestion throughout the day. It is a small act, but like the first brushstroke on a canvas, it sets the tone for everything that follows. Another point to remember is that hydration in the morning is not meant to replace the body's need for water throughout the day. Some people mistakenly believe that drinking a large amount of water at once in the morning will carry them through for hours, but the body does not work like a storage tank. Water moves through us steadily, and balance is best maintained by consistent, moderate intake. By sipping gently in the morning and continuing to drink small amounts throughout the day, you honor the body's natural rhythm instead of overwhelming it at one time. I once heard a story of a man who tended his family's vineyard well into his 70s. When asked the secret to his enduring strength, he smiled and said, "I do not give my plants all their water at once. I give them just enough, many times, so they remain strong without drowning. I treat myself the same way." This wisdom applies to every one of us. The way we water ourselves reflects how we care for our inner garden. So, when you rise tomorrow morning, do not think of drinking water as an ordinary act. Think of it as a ritual, Let the water be slightly warm. Hold it with both hands and sip slowly, feeling each swallow nourish you. Let it awaken your heart gently, support your kidneys steadily, and prepare your stomach for the day's nourishment. Over time, this practice will not only protect your circulation and kidney health but will also bring you a sense of calm and grounding. You will notice your mornings feel smoother, your digestion more comfortable, and your energy more balanced. This is not the result of doing more. It is the result of doing wisely. The body, after 50, thrives on wisdom, not force. The way you drink your water is a reflection of how you choose to live each day, whether in rush and shock or in calm and awareness. Choose the way of calm, and your body will reward you with strength and clarity. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for that glass of water, remember it's not just about drinking, it's about drinking right.